Hey guys, how's it going? It is Monday and I did not plan on making this video, and actually the day's kind of gotten away from me. I think it's like around 3 o'clock. But I need to bake bread because we are out of bread. So I'm going to try a new recipe. Now usually I try the recipe first, and then if it's successful, later on I'll make a video next time I make it. But I know several of you have strongly suggested that I just turn on the camera and what will be, and just come on the journey with me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just turned on the camera and you guys are just gonna come along with me, and we're gonna see if this recipe is a win or a lose. It is for honey oat pan de mie. Pan de mie, of course, is bread baked in the Pullman pan, which I know many of you have. So if you have the same Pullman pan that I bought, you may want to try this recipe too, depending on whether or not it comes out. So honey oat it is. So let me go and get my water, let me get my yeast and all that, and let's make some bread.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna start with 1.5 cups of warm water. Yes, honey.
Garbage. Just got on the road.
Oh, it just got on the road? It fell over?
Yes, we're
The garbage men are here, and it's always very exciting on Mondays. The garbage men are here. All right, so 1.5 cups of warm water, and then to this we are going to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. Now I am making the recipe for the larger Pullman pan because that's what I have. So, so if you guys have the same Pullman pan as I have, this is the recipe you want to use, which is increased by 50%. So if you have a smaller Pullman pan, knock this down by 50%, and it will fit in your pan. All right, so our warm water, our yeast, let's get our honey in here. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, so to this I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, and then we are going to add 4.5 cups of either all-purpose flour or bread flour. I'm using bread flour because I have it on hand. 3, 4. But this is a King Arthur recipe, and they actually suggest you use their all-purpose flour. So it's up to you. I'm trying it with bread flour, and we will see how it goes. Okay, to this we are also going to add 1.5 cups of oats. We are adding 1.5 cups of, and I'm just going to dip this in 3 times, of rolled oats. Now you don't want instant oats, okay? You want old-fashioned rolled oats, which is the only oats actually that I buy.
I leave garbage truck.
You saw the garbage truck. Did they go bye-bye now? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so 1.5 cups of that. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. Get my jar over here. All right, and then we are going to be adding 6 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm just going to pour that right on in. I like to melt that first, even before I make bread. That way you can kind of just sit and kind of cool down, so it's not super hot when it goes in your bread, because you don't want to kill your yeast. And I think that's it. That looks like everything. So we're just gonna lift this up. I'm keeping the shield off. When I make things here at home, I add my shield because I love it, and it just keeps everything contained. But for filming purposes, I think it's better without the shield. So what we're gonna do, before I go ahead and turn this on, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. We're only going to combine all the ingredients, and once everything is combined, we're gonna let this sit for 20 minutes, because what has to happen is the oats have to soak in the moisture. Otherwise they're gonna be crunchy, and we don't want no crunchy bread. So I'm just gonna combine this, and then I'm gonna cover it, and then we're gonna let it sit for 20 minutes. And then after that 20 minutes, we're gonna come back and then we're gonna knead it for 5 to 7 minutes. This mixer actually, because I have the 7-quart Pro line, actually kneads in 4 minutes. But I'm gonna tell you guys 5 to 7 if you're using a regular Pro or an artisan model mixer. All right, so let's turn this on. And let's just get this mixed up. And hopefully you guys can see that in there. And it says we just want to combine it. Now you will hear my mixer clicking more. It's because it's a DC motor, so it does click. It's totally normal. I don't mind it though because this thing never heats up anymore. And I've used it ever since my birthday. I think I've used this thing every day, sometimes a couple times a day. So we are getting acquainted, me and Pearl here. Alright, so that is starting to look really good. I just want to kind of make sure that all the flour is kind of soaked in. And you can see my bowl has gotten clean already. And that is good. So I'm just going to kind of tip you in there. Can you see? So my bowl is nice and clean. Everything is well combined. There's no more like loose flour anywhere. So this is when I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that down. And I'm going to grab a towel here. And I am just going to cover this. And then I'm going to grab my timer. And I'm going to set it for 20 minutes.
Yes, 20 minutes.
All right. So we're gonna start it, and in 20 minutes I will turn you guys back on and we'll go ahead and knead this up. Okay guys, it's been 20 minutes and my timer has gone off, and I've noticed that I've made a mess with my oats. I have to clean up, otherwise it'll drive me crazy. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, so nice. All right, so let's go ahead and let's knead this. I'm gonna knead it for 5 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer. And I'm not gonna bore you with this part. So in 5 minutes, I will come back and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna shut this off. And we're gonna drop it down. And it looks beautiful. Of course, make sure you have super clean hands when you're doing this. I'm gonna take that out, and I'm gonna get a new bowl because I might make cookies for the kids for dessert for tonight. So I'm gonna want my KitchenAid bowl. So I'm just gonna put this in a regular stainless steel bowl. I'm gonna lift you up, woo, and take you over here. There we go, and aim you down. Okay, so here we go. I put a little bit of olive oil in that pan, and I will just show you when I take this out. Look at how clean my bowl is. It kneaded up beautifully. I love this machine.
Let's go pee.
You have to go potty?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. All right, so I'm gonna knock that on the side. And I just want to knead this into a ball. Stretch and pull. And kind of pinch it in the back. Okay. Now it's going to look a little rough because it's full of oat. But there you go. There's a picture of it. So now, what I'm going to do is get it in the bowl, get it oiled up. Okay. And now we're gonna let this sit and rise between an hour and an hour and a half. I'm gonna check it in an hour. King Arthur says that this isn't going to rise quite double, but you do want it to increase in volume. So that's what we're looking for. Not really a doubling, but a significant increase in the size. So I'm probably going to, it's pretty cool here today. I have the windows open and I think it's 66 out. So it's pretty cool in my house. I'm going to put this probably on my stove. My stove light is out. I need to replace it. So I can't put it in my oven to sit. But I'm going to probably just put it on my stovetop because it has the least amount of draft over there. So I'm going to check it in an hour. I'm going to set my timer. And if it's, oh, I hate this timer because it's always acting up. I have my new one. I don't know why I don't always grab for my new one. I'm just so used to using the stuff I'm used to using. Alright, so we're going to set this for an hour. Come back, check it. Actually, I might leave it right here under this light because this light gives off quite a bit of heat. So I'm going to leave it under here. And come back in an hour, take a look at it. When it is ready, I'll come back. I'll let you know how long it took for me. Need help putting back on your undies? Alright guys, so I'm just going to go about my normal mom routine here at home, and I will be back in an hour and a half, and we will put this in the bread pan, and then it'll go for a second rise, and then we will bake it. Alright guys, I'll be back. Okay guys, it has been an hour and a half, and as you see how beautiful our dough is, let me wash my hands, make sure they are clean. Alright, and then I have my clean towel here. So, move this. Clean up your mess, Heather. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to punch this down gently. This is going to be a much denser dough, almost like a wheat, I would say. I'd liken it to wheat bread for sure. Alright, so I want my pan. Here is my Pullman pan. I want to be able to, oh, Mina girl, Mama will be there in a minute. I left her and she's in her swing somewhere safe because now she's starting to scooch around like an army man and on her belly, almost crawling, but not quite. She can't really do that yet, but she can scoot. So I gotta put her somewhere safe now when she's awake. Alright, so I'm going to just pull that out. That is beautiful. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll this. And I'm going to roll it and tuck it tight. I like to pull and tuck tight when I shape my bread. Alright. Oh, Mama's going to come right in there. Yes. Alright, we're going to pinch the seam. Okay. And then I like to just kind of get that seam sealed there like that. We're going to just tuck in the ends, tuck and pinch just to make the end as pretty as we can. And then I'll do it over here. Matt is working really late tonight. He's got a really late appointment. So I'm going to make this. Now this is going to be for sandwich bread for the week. And I think for dinner I'm just going to make that broccoli and cheese soup. And the kids want chicken sandwiches, so it's going to be easy. Matt will just have some soup when he gets home. And I might cut into this and actually have a slice of it to go with my soup so I can taste test it. Alright, so we're going to put it in our Pullman pan. We're pressing it down. I like to tuck in the ends just to make sure that the ends, when they come out, are pretty. Push it down. Just really hard with nails. I'm so hard on my hands. I'm shocked that these things have held up and have not broken on me. So, but it looks beautiful. All right, so there we have it. There is our honey oat bread in there. Now, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put the lid on, and we're gonna let this sit. Again, I'm just gonna let it sit under this light because this light is very warm. We're gonna let it sit for another hour, hour and a half. It says 60 to 90 minutes. I am going to, so I'm gonna set my good timer here. I'm gonna set it for an hour, and in about a half hour, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So when this rises near the top, that's what we're looking for, a rise near the top. As you see, it's about halfway to the top there. We will then put it in the oven. So I'm gonna go take care of Mina girl. She just wants me to hold her, and I will see you guys back here in about an hour, hour and a half, and we'll get this thing baked up. All right. Okay guys, so as you see, my bread is almost to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a 350 degree oven. I'm going to bake it for 35 minutes. Then I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to bake it another 10 minutes or so, just until the top is golden brown. That is the directions. So that is what we're going to do. And we'll see how it turns out. So in the oven this goes. All right guys, so I just took my bread out of the oven. Cooked it 35 minutes, went to take the lid off, and let me just say, because this is why I like to test recipes out first. Next time I'm going to try it with the all-purpose flour, because this rose a little too high, and on this end you can see some came out of the pan, not a lot. It's kind of like on this side. Let me show you. And you see that? See how it came out just a little bit? This side was the same way, except this is the side that I had to pull the pan open on. So I tore it off before I did that. It made it a little difficult to get out because it rose a little too high, and that could be from the bread flour. So next time I'm going to try this recipe with all-purpose flour. I'm going to put a note on my recipe that I wrote down, and that's how I test recipes out, whether or not they work for me or not. I will say that my house smells amazing, and that by the look of this bread, it's beautiful. So I just took it out of the oven. I'm going to take it out of my Pullman pan. Now, I have not treated my Pullman pan the past 3 times. This is the 3rd time I'm using it without coating it in shortening or lard beforehand. So I wanted to see if it really is a nice non-stick pan, and if I have to coat it like some suggest, and I really don't. It's really, really nice. Let me put this over on the stove so it can cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my gloves here and flip this. Woo! It is hot. Now, with the Pullman pan bread, I haven't felt the need to have to coat it with butter. You can definitely still coat it with butter. It will just soften up the crust. Like I've said before in other videos, I like the crust. And since this is a sandwich bread mainly for me and Mason during the week to have our sandwiches with, I'm going to leave it. And show you what it looks like. Actually, I might just take the bread over to, my son is outside cutting the lawn, so you probably hear the lawnmower. I'm going to take you over to the kitchen table here so you can see it in natural light. It is beautiful. You can see all the oats in there. So very, very, very pretty. So I can't wait to try it. It smells divine, really. I'm going to let it sit here and cool. I have dinner going right now. My kitchen is a mess. And I made homemade cheese and broccoli soup with cheddar cheese. So I'm gonna slice up some of that bread once it cools a bit. I'm gonna have Matt taste test it. I made some homemade sweet tea, so I sweetened that. And I have dishes to do. I tried my immersion blender that MJ sent me. MJ, I love this thing. I could kick myself for not buying one. Thank you so much for sending that to me and Mina, and I just love it. That's what I made my soup with, so I'm really excited about that. And I think that's it. So I am going to go in my office now, and hopefully I will be able to edit this video. I've been having problems with my editing software freezing up and glitching on me. So I think, oh, actually this goes down here. I think Matt is gonna take it in for me, and I'm gonna try a different editor. Right now I use Sony Vegas Pro 13, and I think I might switch to something else. Not sure. So anyway, that's it. That's the scoop. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you did, and if you give this recipe a try, let me know. I am really excited to hear how it is for you guys. Alright guys, I will talk to you later.